Mic check.
All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody, to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 135. Today is Monday, May 9th of 2022. As usual, we're live here on Discord and YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here each and every week. Please be aware that we are recording this call, but it will also be available for you to check out later in our Horizen podcast. Also, remember to ask your questions for the team. We're going to be answering the top 3 of them at the end. All right, so let's kick it off right away with our updates. And I'll pass the word now to Alberto to provide us with the engineering updates. Welcome, Alberto.
Hi, Angie. Thank you. As usual, we can start with Zendo. So, as we mentioned last week, we made some changes to the dependencies of Zendi and its build system to make it compatible with C++ 17 and to make it work also with the latest Linux distributions, and in particular with Ubuntu 22. These required also updating the CCTP and the main chain crypto Rust libraries. And the first round of code review for both of them is complete, and the final code review will follow soon. Okay, the other big area of focus last week was the SDK, and in particular for what regards Blaze, after having detected an issue that affected the sidechain on testnet, we released a new version of Blaze with an improvement for the certificate submitter to make it more robust during the node active sync. Moreover, always on Blaze, we performed the internal code review of the custom boxes backup mechanism and forger list opening process. All the suggested changes are now being implemented. Then we also fixed another known corner case related to the API freezing during the node synchronization phase. And in parallel, we have been doing other changes to improve the SDK at different levels like network, wallet, and so on. On the other hand, for what regards the EVM sidechain, we were able to finish the overall design for the changes to be performed. And the first tasks have been scheduled, and the development was started on both application and course side. In particular, on the application side, we implemented the Ethereum-friendly crypto primitives. So for this, I mean curves and signature scheme, and Ethereum-like transaction structure. And meanwhile, on the SDK side, we started testing the new RocksDB database performance. And currently, we are working on the integration of it and preparing the modification for the account-based structure to be integrated on the SDK. So these were the main points for today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Alberto. All right, let's proceed with Vano for some of the BD and operations updates. Welcome, Vano.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Unfortunately, some people are trying to use the name of Horizen and Horizen Labs. They are creating fake tokens and scamming our community members. And although this is obviously a byproduct of us getting more popular and well known, I would like to ask our community to be extra careful and always check with us if they use and see a token using our brand name on a different blockchain. So far, we only have one coin, and it is our Zen, which has its own native blockchain, and it is not available for buying on DEXs in its native form. It has only been bridged once to Ethereum mainnet through the staked Zen project, $STZen, which has been operated by a third-party company, Stakehound. And today we got a report for one such scam token to be created on BNB chain and using our brand name. And we already contacted our partners to flag it accordingly for visibility for our community. But for sure, there will be more in the future, and everyone needs to be extra careful with this by checking legitimacy of such tokens using our name with us first. And of course, we will always be announcing such tokens and partnerships on our social media first, so that you will know first as well. That's all from me. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Vano, for that. All right, let's continue with Victor for the product updates. Okay, so I don't see Victor on the call, but I can provide some updates regarding Token Mint platform release. So, as some of you already know, last Wednesday, May the 4th, we launched the first version of our Token Mint platform to public testnet. And this is not news, but it's really important to enhance the importance of this. So as you know, it is live now with our release of our Cobalt wallet and the Block Explorer on testnet. If you haven't installed your Cobalt wallet extension, I invite you all to follow the steps listed in our official channel news, our blog post, and let us know any feedback. On the development side, we also continue the ongoing efforts to deploy the token generator to testnet in the upcoming days. The date is still to be defined, but we're still going with those efforts. Improvements to the user experience and the user interface of Cobalt are also ongoing based on the community feedback already received, and expect them also to see in the upcoming version of the release of Cobalt. Last but not least, I would like to mention that we will start scoping out the work needed for NFT implementations in both Cobalt and the Block Explorer. So really, really exciting and amazing things coming. And also on the last piece on that, if you still haven't claimed your testnet Seni tokens, I invite you all to do so, following the steps that we're going to be providing and listing with you and sharing with you all. So now is your chance to go and claim some testnet Seni. So that's it from my side. I'll pass the word now to Lucy for the marketing updates. Welcome, Lucy.
Thank you, Angie, and congratulations to our team, to our product team for the successful public testnet launch of Token Mint. With some of the key tools of this tokenization platform. So it was also an exciting event for our community as well, as we had a lot of activities last week with the release of testnet Token Mint. So we did 2 test any airdrops last week, and if you missed them, we'll be doing another one this week. So make sure you download our Cobalt wallet and submit your address to enter the next airdrop. And this has to be the address from your Cobalt wallet, not your Zen address or any other crypto addresses. We received a lot of Zen addresses and also Ethereum addresses for the airdrop. They won't work at this time. You will not receive the airdrop if it's not a Cobalt wallet address. I mean, in the future, we will be able to send tokens created on Token Mint to other addresses, just not right now. And to add to Vano's warning about scams, people, just please always participate activities released only through the Horizen official websites and social media channels. So if you already received test any airdrop, make sure that you claim your test pilot status on our Discord and join the special channel where we will give early notifications for future airdrops and testing opportunities. We already have over 1,000 verified test pilots. Last time I heard from Andrew, I believe there's a long list of people still waiting to be admitted, and our community manager Andrew is working on that. So please be patient. And then there's also a testing task on HDE. The number of submission received, I believe, so far has already exceeded the limits. And we are working on adding more new tasks on HDE for testing Token Mint. So if you need help figure out how to download or how to use Cobalt Wallet or where to get test Zen and send test Zen to Cobalt Wallet, we also published several user guides, and also NG helped recorded some demo videos with step-by-step tutorials. So they will be very useful for you, and then they're all published on our blog site. So we have been receiving a ton of feedback from our community. Thank you for that. The feedback is incredibly valuable and will help our product team to improve Token Mint in our future releases. So we welcome you to provide your feedback after using Cobalt Wallet and other tools. So that's about token mint. And also, we have a big event that we will be participating and sponsoring next month. Consensus. We'll be posting about that, and then we'll be having a Horizen side event during the main consensus event as well. And then we may also be able to give away some free ticket to consensus, which is pretty awesome. So stay tuned. That's it from me. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Lucy. Now let's welcome Rob for the leadership updates and the Q&A session. Welcome, Rob.
Thanks, Angie. I was just trying to get my my Cobalt address so Erica can send me some more Tzeni. Okay, let me circle back from that to my notes. And quick kudos, by the way. Have you guys noticed how cool the Discord channel or Discord server has been of late? You guys are doing an amazing job managing it. And Andrew, that means I'm talking to you. Thank you very much for that. And thank you to all the community members flooding in with this Tzeni token drop. That's pretty cool to see all of the new users. What I've been saying about Token Mint is that it is one small step for crypto, one giant leap for Horizen. I know it's cheesy, but it is absolutely true. And huge congratulations to the team that has advanced this project to where it is right now, to the point where we can actually use it. That's pretty awesome. The testnet release has been awesome to see. And no, it hasn't been perfect, but what has been really cool about it is that we're learning a ton as we release something onto a public network and get a flood of users in there testing things, battle testing it, trying to break things, and just flooding the network with transactions that it has to handle. That's awesome. So the more that we can push things into production like this on test environments and get users out there, the better. So yes, minting an ERC20 like fungible token is something super simple for the crypto world these days. So that itself was not news, but you guys are doing it on a ZK enabled sidechain. That's the difference, and that's the big thing that we're celebrating here. Really can't wait for this to power through the last battery of tests and continue learning on testnet, and then do the final push to mainnet. So we'll maybe get Victor on here next time and give you guys more clarity on the dates that we're thinking about targeting the mainnet launch. Also, a huge thanks to Luigi working over the weekend on Sunday, Mother's Day, handling a bug that was caught on transaction parsing, fixing it, making sure that the network upgraded seamlessly. That was pretty awesome. And guys, remember, this is not about being perfect at all. It's about being good enough and making sure that we can handle things as they come up, because issues will always come up. We're not trying to release bug-free software. That's kind of insane. Not going to happen, but we're releasing very good, high-quality software that we're learning from, and we have teams who are competent and professional and can actually handle things as they come up. So a little bit of news is that I'm in Milan this week with, product, strategy, engineering groups, hashing out what we're thinking about for the next generation of our technology strategy. Because you guys know the path that we're on currently. Token Mint is a really big part of that. The EVM chain is a really big part of that. But what's next? And there's a lot in between, by the way, like thinking about DeFi, NFTs, and everything that's going to be happening in Horizen is super exciting. But we're also thinking the industry is evolving so fast. We need to make sure that we're pointing our deep technology talent into the areas of most best use. So we're thinking through these things. It's not an easy solution to anything because things are moving so fast. Some things that you know about, obviously, Token Mint is on testnet. We're going to mainnet, but we're thinking, how can we differentiate it further, or actually differentiate it using things like zero knowledge proofs on minting? Could be kind of interesting. Maybe integrating in a language like Leo that's used for call it like dynamic ZK proofs. Or just thinking through other technology advantages that we might have with the Token Mint. The EVM project is consuming a lot of our bandwidth right now, and that's just only going to increase because we're going to want to accelerate that delivery. But in the meantime, it's possible that we see the industry evolve even further to the point where what we're paying attention to right now is like a provable EVM or a provable virtual machine. Call it a ZK EVM or something like that. There are other projects, peers of ours out there that are focusing very heavily in this type of technology. We're tracking it closely, and we're trying to see how we can keep the infrastructure they're building relevant so that when there is this type of technology breakthrough for a provable virtual machine, we could integrate it quickly into our ecosystem. So that's the way that we're thinking of playing that piece of it. But going beyond that, we need to think about where our big competitive edge is going to rest. I keep arguing it's Zendo, it's the cross-chain transfer protocol, because as these breakthroughs happen in the industry, we can integrate them all into our space, or at least in theory we can. Right? In practice, we'll see how design choices we make affect things that we can integrate in the future. But we are keeping a track of this technology frontier with the intention of being able to integrate things in quickly with us. So Token Mint was a major learning experience on deployment of our own technology in our own space here. The EVM is going to be a critical, just call it like ecosystem catch-up point or inflection point for us, where we can have a lot of the DeFi and NFT type of products that people just want in crypto. But we're thinking beyond that. Lattice is still really important in our calculations, in the sense of having kind of provable single or maybe limited set types of blockchains out there. Maybe that scales really nicely for enterprises. We'll see. But we're also posturing ourselves so that when the ZK EVM type of technology matures, whether that's from us or from a competitor, we can still integrate it into our ecosystem. So that's, anyway, just wanted to share in a nutshell with you, because as we're going through these types of strategy conversations, the really important thing is the procedure for how we do it, because there's good strategizing and there's bad strategizing. And I would say the good strategizing is when we do it openly, with all of you, obviously, with the team sharing this to get more inputs, with the community, seeing what you guys think about things. Maybe people have good ideas out there, but really just communicating so that, together as a team, as a community, we should be steering this technology in a way that's going to make Horizen increasingly, number one, catch up, but then increasingly relevant, so we can hit that kind of critical competitive inflection point in the future. So anyway, that's what's going on here. It's going to be a pretty fun week, just deep diving on some of these technology strategy conversations and thinking through. I'll tell you one big difference now that we have a maturing team as we've been able to grow over the years, is that we're tackling things right at this point. So we have a lot of sophisticated capabilities where we're thinking through this technology frontier of where our competitors are heading, what types of breakthroughs we think might be imminent, others might be a little bit longer term. But how do we posture ourselves? Where do we fit Horizen so that it really adds value into the marketplace? And not just coming up with the ideas that we think are cool, because we have a lot of those, but now we're thinking through more sophisticated ways of validating our ideas so that we're not just coming up with hunches and running with it, but actually, we're going to be rapidly iterating through different ideas and validating them with, those people that we think might comprise a market or might comprise users of the things that we're building. So anyway, a lot there, and this will be a power week to see what we come up with. But certainly next week, I'll share with you guys everything that we come up with, and I would like us to do an even better job documenting and sharing these types of conversations with you guys as we go. But at least the weekly insiders are the critical first starting point for this type of communication. I'll stop here. The Q&A is always the fun part, so let's see if we've got anything cool, Angie.
All right, let's dive right into it. Thanks, everybody, for contributing with your questions. All right, let's see. So the first one is, it's a pretty interesting one. I like it. It says, have you considered making a CK-Me product that will allow a person to prove they're human without disclosing personal information on legacy social media and Web3 platforms?
So that is a super cool branding of something that we've been considering, like a ZKID. I don't know if Alberto, if you're still on the call. Let me see. I know you would love to talk about that. We actually just kicked off a research project with North Carolina State University on a ZKID. So probably pretty similar.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, Rob, we just bootstrapped the research on the possibility to have, let me say, to provide a proof that links an ID to a real person. I mean, it's not based on the research is in the early stages, but the approach that we're targeting is not using social media and stuff like that. I mean, we are not yet able to provide more details, but I mean, we will for sure share more details during the research goes on. And these will be very useful, for example, for implementing voting systems that uses the ZKID to prove, for example, that the vote was done by a real person and cannot be done, let's say, more than once. And also to other, we have other ideas for using that are enabling other use cases that currently are not possible, not having this kind of, let's say, direct linking between a real person, a real human, and a unique agent.
All right, thanks. The second question is, how far away is the roadmap on AMM on Horizen?
I'd say AMM on Horizen is going to happen when the EVM launches. At least that's the way we're targeting it right now. So we are just now starting to talk about steering part of the smart contracting team that we have to start exploring AMM technologies. Now, Jordan on the strategy side, I don't know if he's here. Let's see. I know he was out in the meeting, but Jordan, if you're here, feel free to chime in because I know he's been working with some DeFi degens on really crafting through a coherent and very specific DeFi strategy for us. AMM is I would say, a major part of that, and that would be part of phase one of DeFi and Horizen. For sure will be an AMM. And currently, that group is exploring a variety of them and coming up with a recommendation for which one our smart contracting team will then take. And smart contracting plus BD team, because one path here is always to solicit a bunch of AMMs that already exist out there and get them to build in Horizen. And the other approach is, hey, Horizen Labs will build it if we don't get interest right away, or maybe it just makes sense for us to run out there and deploy something ourselves quickly. So anyway, the answer is yes. And Jordan, if you're here, sorry, feel free to chime in. Otherwise, that's it. We'll for sure have it, and that'll be timed with. Stay tuned next week. We should have a little bit more clarity on, at least the preliminary schedule for the EVM.
Thanks, Rob. And the third and final question is, what are the next roadmap steps for your token mint platform?
Oh man, John, are you prepared to dive in on that one? I didn't see Victor.
Yeah,
no, I do see Victor now. Yeah. So either way, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah, we're we're just let's say we migrated the whole team in Jira, and that one was a major step for us. And we are scoping everything, and we are in a good shape. We have understood the first goal, and we are aligned that is something that we may want. That is to allow from day one to use the EVM sidechain with MetaMask. This is the thing that I can share at the moment, given that we are working on a proper roadmap for the following steps, but we're not too far from there.
Oh no, Victor, I think it was for token mint. So even better question.
Sorry.
More proximate.
Victor's full on EVM and what that means. So he's been onboarded onto that project and helping it take into more of a productized delivery. So I'm glad to hear that Victor's fully, the EVM is the only thing on his mind. But for token mint, so we have a token generator that will be released next. And Angie, you could let me know, just chime in and see when that's going to be released. But we're really excited about the token generator because it will allow just a very easy view for anyone to generate a token. And maybe there's some GIFs that we could post here. From a functionality perspective, we'll have our first iteration of NFTs. And as Rob mentioned, we are delivering things incrementally. So we'll have a first release of a NFT functionality. That won't be a full functionality, but we will work to improve that along the way. So those two things
by June is what we're thinking. And I hope soon we could publish a longer roadmap for the token generator.
Yes, thank you so much, Rosario and Victor, for that. I'm actually also collaborating in the Token Mint project. So, as Rob, Rosario, and Victor said, that's kind of like the immediate steps going forward to release our token generator to testnet, to make sure that it works and it's compatible with the Cobalt and the Block Explorer as well. It's a huge and very important part of that effort, and as well our roadmap to mainnet. So stay tuned. A lot of exciting news coming in the next few weeks. All right, so that's it. Those were the top 3 questions. Pretty exciting, and I think a great weekly insider today. Thanks everybody for joining us here each and every week, and just stay tuned for more news coming up really soon. Have a great week, everybody.